friends, welcome back to my channel. I know it has been a minute since my last upload, but I hope that everybody's doing amazing, that you're all accomplishing your goals, and that you're staying safe from COVID and you know, doing your thing. As you can see here, I am filming from a new space. This right here is my new apartment. Yes, I did get a studio in the city. Thank God, finally. I feel like, yeah, finally is exactly how I feel about this milestone that I've reached. And it's been a lot of craziness with moving and getting in the swing of things and into a new routine. And as you can see here, I don't even have any freaking lights or any of my fancy Nancy studio stands and lights and yada 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 and backgrounds. Today is just gonna be more of an organic video because all of that stuff is still in my parents' garage. But anyways, as you saw by the title, today I'm going to do this really easy, everyday, natural look. This is the look that I like to wear pretty much almost every single day, especially now during quarantine. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump straight into this video makeup tutorial. Easy, natural makeup look. Okay, so I have already primed using my IT Cosmetics moisturizer right here, the Confidence in a Cream moisturizer. And I also used the Pharmacy Do It All Total Eye Cream, and this guy looks like this. Both of these have been doing a really good job at keeping my face moisturized. I have especially loved this eye cream because I have a really dry eye area, and I do feel like this has helped keep my dark circles not so dark, and it does an amazing job at keeping my under eye really nice and hydrated, so much so that you can definitely see like it has a little bit of that vibrancy. So I always make sure I prime my face, and also I always make sure that I am wearing my sunscreen. And this, I actually wasn't expecting it to be like, oh wow, like, you know, a big deal, but this sunscreen has been doing an amazing job at melting into my skin. It kind of has this thick consistency. I don't know if you guys can really tell, but it has this thick consistency, and you do have to kind of like melt it with your fingers and then work it into the skin, and it just melts into the skin, and it doesn't weigh you down. And my makeup, any foundation or whatever I'm putting on my face goes amazing over this sunscreen. This is the Neutrogena Age Shield Oil-Free sunscreen, and it's an SPF 110. So this definitely will make sure to keep you very safe and protected from those harmful sun rays. I live in Seattle, Washington, and even though it might not always be like super bright and sunny, I definitely always gotta make sure that I keep on my sunscreen, because even though in my mind, oh, it's cloudy, there's no sun, I'm still getting those harsh UV rays hitting my skin. So for the summertime, I've been using these very dark colors. I've been going between the DIOR Nude Air Foundation and the DIOR Forever Skin Glow Foundation, and both of these foundations are amazing. This one has a little droplet. This is what it looks like. It's very interesting. It goes on pretty runny, but here, let me show you guys. It's a pretty runny foundation, as you can see right here. It's just like going. But man, when you work this foundation in, it's like a satin foundation, and the heat of your skin only like helps it melt into the skin, and it's just a beautiful radiant satin finish. As you can see here, it's just spectacular. And I also really love the Forever Skin Glow foundation. I think this is a new foundation by DIOR, or it came out very recently. This one is a much thicker consistency, but it's very nice and natural, and it has that like OG DIOR foundation smell. It smells like rose water. Yeah, it's like fancy and rose watery. It's not a word, but anyways, this foundation right here, as you can see, is very nice and vibrant. I think it's a little bit more glowy than our previous foundation that we swatched on this side. As you can see, both of these foundations are very dark in comparison to my face, and that has partly to do with the fact that I always make sure that I wear my sunscreen so my face is not getting too sunburned at any given time. But also I'm just like looking at my arms, like I'm pretty tan. Oh, there you go. See, I promise you guys I am tan. But anyways, let's go ahead and keep it moving because this light right here is leaving me so fast. So I usually just use a couple of pumps from, and I'm going to be using my DIOR Forever Skin Glow Foundation in the shade Too Warm, 2W. So I kind of just like spread it out like this, and I am really big on spreading out my foundation instead of just like dotting it on, because I feel like it, once you use the brush or the beauty blender, or especially with the beauty blender, the foundation goes on a little bit more even when you kind of like spread it out like this. It's like you're already preparing your foundation to be an even layer. When you spread it out with the fingers, it prevents product from being too concentrated on certain areas of your face. And like I said, especially with that beauty blender, like man, if you try to blend that, it'll just like, the beauty blender will suck all of the product if you have too much of like a big blob, if you know what I mean. Yeah, as you can see here, the brush doesn't have to do as much of the work when my foundation is already spread out like this. And I think you guys might have noticed that I didn't really use a primer, a face primer, and that's because I have not been using any face primer really during the summertime. Sometimes, like if I really want to make sure that my foundation stays on for a very long time, I'll use my Milk Makeup, like that gel primer. I forgot what it's called, but that primer is amazing. It's like a really good go-to of mine if I want to make sure the foundation stays for long periods of time. Usually when I'm doing my makeup lately for my natural look, I am not really wanting to add extra steps, so that's why I usually just, you know, from my sunscreen I'll just skip my primer and I'll go directly to my foundation, as you see here. I think because I'm losing my tan so fast, I need to bring this foundation all the way down so it looks a little bit more even. And as you see here, we have a nice even layer of our very glowy foundation, which I am living for right now. So once that's done, I apply my concealer, and a cult favorite of mine, it's everybody's favorite, a lot of people's favorite. This is the NARS Radiant Concealer, and I'm using the color Macadamia, which is not the same color that I use during the winter time. But as you can see here, Macadamia actually works pretty well in this case. Girl, I have dark circles. I need to get that covered up. And I like to kind of like put a little bit of product, not too much, like down the center, like that. And around my lips a little bit. I don't really illuminate the center of my forehead. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm just lazy. Maybe it's because I get a little lazy sometimes, but anyways. And also I'm using all Morphe brushes. This is a full like Morphe situation we got here. These are some brushes I got from Amazon, but I got the Morphe. I forgot the name, the actual name of the brush set, and I've been very happy with them. They're just very durable. They're still nice and full. This is their concealer brush, and this is the brush that I always use for my concealer. It's it has like a nice density, a nice volume, so it's pretty bomb. Pretty bomb. So at this point, I blended out my concealer. Whatever's left on my brush is usually what I kind of just use on my eyelids, because I usually don't like to pack my eyelids with a ton of concealer when I'm on the go and I'm just going about my day, or you know, I'm going to go to the grocery store and I'm not trying to rock a smoky eye or anything. So if I don't need to pack on a lot of concealer as a base on my eyelid, I won't. And it also helps keep the look natural. Like the title of this video says, this is my natural everyday makeup look. So we're gonna make sure we keep it that way and that we don't amp it up just because we're behind camera today. Alright, so now we're going to set it. I have been using the Milk Makeup Blur Plus Set Matte loose setting powder, and this is not my go-to. My go-to is usually my Laura Mercier setting powder. Laura Mercier also has the secret setting powder, which is really thin but very nice, and it has reflective specs. But I had to start using the Milk Blur Plus Set powder because I ran out of all of my other setting powders, and this has been sitting on the shelf for the longest time, and I swear I was so hesitant to use it because it said the word matte on it. But it's worked like a dream. Yes, it does mattify my under eye area quite a bit, but it doesn't dry out my under eye area, which is really important to me. Like I said, I have very dry under eyes, and it comes like with a little pad, which I usually never really use. This is what the powder looks like. The powder is very, very thin, which is why I think this matte formula works for me, is because they made this powder like ultra, it's like flying. I don't even think you can see it, but it's like flying up in the air. It's a very, very fine loose powder, so it works like magic to set my concealer without weighing down my under eye area. And I'm a very traditional person, so even though the whole like matte baking look is really in right now, or it has been a trend for a few years now, I avoid baking my under eye if I can, and I like to keep kind of like this glow right here. I like to keep that untouched, and I just like my skin to be its best self, and I let the foundation do the work for me. Also, I like to set like my eyelid area with the same powder, translucent powder. I don't set the top area, or I'm sorry, the crease area. Gosh, it's been such a long time, I'm forgetting my makeup verbiage. I set it with the loose powder because I usually never put eyeshadow right here when I'm just like, let's go, we got things to do, places to see, people to meet. And the reason for that is because I'm going to use the eyeshadow in the crease area, and that is powder, which means that it's going to set like that particular area of the eye, and that's just kind of how my brain works. I don't know. At this point, I would usually go in and do my eyebrows if that's what I felt like doing, but in this case, because I'm doing my eyes, I want to make sure that I finish my eyes. And I'm just going to use this really dirty but very perfectly sized eye brush. I'm going to get a close-up so you guys can see what I mean. See, it has a perfect density, and it's like, it's just the perfect volume, but it's just so dirty because I haven't gotten around, or I've been too lazy to clean my brushes. Sorry, not sorry. But anyways, I'm gonna go into my soft blend palette, which has been used and abused, and she's just, almost about done, but she's still hanging on by a thread. And I'm gonna dip into Burnt Orange, which I like to alternate between the top one, Orange Soda, and Burnt Orange, but because I'm Latina and I'm pretty tan, especially now that summer has just passed, I need to make sure that I have the perfect warm tone that will actually show up on my eye area. So I'm only working it into the crease, and I like to, when I get to the outer corner, I like to kind of follow this V of the eye here. Oh gosh, I can already tell I used way more color on this side than I did on the other side, so now we gotta, well, it's not too crazy, not too much. We're just gonna even it out on the other side. Now I'm going to use this really dirty eyebrow brush and my go-to Anastasia Dark Brown Brow Powder Duo, and I got the shade Dark Brown. This is what it looks like. I think it goes really well with my dark hair color without it being too dark on my face, if you know what I mean, because I don't know why, but I've really been loving this natural soft eyebrow, whereas before I would love to rock my Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade, like super defined, super sharp eyebrow. But lately, since I've been going for this natural look that you see me creating here, I don't know, I've just been wanting that natural brow. I filled this part in just like that, because I like to be quick. Like I want to fill this eyebrow ASAP, and you can see that I actually did a pretty good job at filling in my brows here. So I'm using the lighter color, working on filling this part in just like that. So by turning it sideways, and instead of using it like this, I can cover more surface area with less effort. And I love that, guys. Less effort is good when you're doing the natural look. So now I'm going to switch to the darker color on my brow pomade. And this time I'm going to use the brush sideways, and I'm going to use kind of like short strokes like that, because I want to pretty much define what the tail of my eyebrow is going to look like. I like to outline the bottom and then outline the top of the tail, and then I fill using that same darker color. All right, so I'm pretty happy with how this eyebrow turned out. I'm going to go ahead and finish doing my other eyebrow, and then we're going to just move ahead and clean that eyebrow up with that same concealer, which is Macadamia NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. Okay, so now that that's over, I'm going to do a little bit of eyeliner, and usually I would go for a liquid eyeliner. The one that I've used recently is the NYX Matte Liquid Liner, and honey, this is it. This is an amazing eyeliner, and I love that it's matte, no shine. But in this case, for the natural look, I'm going to be using the NYX Cosmetics eye pencil in the color dark brown. It's going to be this guy right here, and it's not very sharpened, which is actually a good thing, because I find that when it's too sharp, I try to go in and line my top eyelid, it pokes me a lot, and then I flinch, and like my eyeliner just does like a scribble, and I'm just like, damn it. I'm gonna go in with the dull tip, and I like to start on the outer part of the eye, and I line the eye. Okay, so this is what our eyes and makeup is looking like. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I didn't really bronze or contour anything, and that's because I have not been bronzing or contouring or adding any blush, especially considering that I always have to wear my mask. And because of that, sometimes I'll just apply my makeup up to here, and then I will just blend that line down, but I won't really put makeup down here because no one's gonna see that. Anyways, I'm gonna finish doing my eyeliner on camera. I'm gonna do some tight lining on the inner waterline just like that, and try not to poke your eye out while you're doing that. And this will just intensify the outlining of the eye without having to go too dark. And for the natural look, like you see here, I really love the brown over the black. I feel like black would make the whole look a bit too harsh, if you know what I mean. And I also don't do any eyeliner on my bottom waterline because my eyes are pretty small, almond eyes, and if I apply eyeliner on the bottom waterline, that's just going to close my eyes and make them look smaller. All right, so now that that's done, I'm going to use my Kevyn Aucoin eyelash curler, and I'm going to try to curl these lashes as much as I can. And to finish my eyes, I'm going to be applying my Pat McGrath Fetish Eye Mascara, which is actually really amazing. I love the brush size on this, and when you pop it out, it just feels so luxurious, and it doesn't come out with too much product, but you can see by the brush that this is a voluminous mascara. So I like to start by applying some product at the base of my lashes, and then I like to kind of spring it upwards just like that. And that is just from a single coat. Let's go ahead and wrap up this this natural look by finishing with the lips. And the whole summer I was using this guy. This is one of the NARS new lip oils. This is in the shade Orgasm. I'm almost done with this freaking tube here. She's been through a lot, but I just love it because the oil turns your lips pinker. I think it accentuates your natural pH levels. See that? It just made my lips pinker, and it's pretty and natural, and this is the look that I've been rocking, and I'm really happy with it. I feel like I would still love to keep doing like the dramatic Instagram look, but not always. This is usually the look that you will catch me wearing in the street or anything like that. This is what I like to look like, very natural, very glowy, and I love it. And yeah, this is it. And that does it for this video, my friends. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for clicking on my video. I know I have been MIA for quite some time, but I don't know, I think it's been just 2020 that's been a very hard year, hard-hitting year. I was able to accomplish this amazing milestone that you see right behind me. So I would say that I was able to be productive this year, but overall, I wish I would have filmed more videos. So I'm really hoping for this coming year and for these next few months that are coming up, that I can start to get back into the swing of things and back into this channel and making a lot more awesome content slash videos for you guys. That would be like my ultimate #1 New Year's resolution, would be to get back into my YouTube grind and kick some butt. But anyways, please make sure to like, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to my channel, and also feel free to share this video on your other social media if you enjoyed it. Like always, I want to thank you so much for watching and spending your time with me. I'll see you on the next one.